Hello, all things Hadar, and happy St. Patrick's Day. If you are finding this on St. Patrick's Day. If not, no worries. Just all readings are timeless. So whenever you find it, that's when the message is for you. So today, I wasn't sure what we were going to pull. I was guided to pull these two decks that I have, these two decks. I also was guided to pull these two, which I got on Etsy. I don't remember the names of the cards or their shops, but I will try to remember, and I will try to find them in the history of Etsy to give you the names of these in case anybody is interested in these particular decks. Okay. All decks have been pre-shuffled. But I do like to shuffle on camera for you, just for you guys to see that things do get shuffled. If you are new here, welcome. We're so glad that you have decided to join us or that you have run across us. I am an intuitive reader. If you want any more information about that or any other work that I do, you can find the web address for my website and information about how I read in the description box below. For those of you who are returning and for those of you who are new, if you end up going to my website, I am aware there are some issues at this time. I'm not an IT person. It's not my forte. I went in there and thought I could, do something that seemed oh so easy. And yes, I messed a whole bunch of stuff up. So the calendar and stuff like that is not working. And however, you can still reach out to me via the email that is listed there on the website. And there is a brief description about things I do. If you have more questions or if you're interested, of course, you can contact me for a discovery session, which is free of charge. With all of that said, oh, and for those of you returning, thank you guys so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you guys, your support, and just helping us come together. I love that. So thank you very much for all of that. Okay, with all of that said, we are going to jump in. So where are we beginning? We're going to begin with this deck. All right. We're just going to see what unfolds. I will say that respect, which is on this part of the deck, and I saw attitude as they were coming together. Both of those have stood out to me. So we'll see if anything about that comes forward in the reading. All right. Let's see. Most High, I say Utmost High, God, Source, Spirit, Universe, whatever that is for you. What are the messages for us at this time? This is way too many here and here. We need fewer. Fewer cards, please. Thank you. Flexibility. Isn't that funny? Because flexibility was one of them that showed on the split. Flexibility. I am flexible and adaptable to change while I pursue my ambitions. Flexible. I am flexible and adaptable to change while I pursue my ambitions. I don't know what kind of bird this is here in the front, but the one in the background makes me think of a swallow. You see that? And we also have I think this is supposed to be like the an impressionist thing of a butterfly right there. So I do feel like there might be more than just one thing taking place right now, taking flight, shifting, changing. Maybe one is here in the forefront. Maybe there's one you're not aware of that's kind of in the background and it just hasn't come to your awareness yet. But there is transformation coming forward. I would say something to do to support, help, and assist yourself while you're going through changes and shifts as making sure you do whatever this looks like for you, but a practice of some sort around being grounded. getting yourself grounded and connected, whatever that looks like for you. That's too many. All right. All right. Okay. So first we have instinct. We see a monkey and we see a fairy. Yeah. Okay. All right. So instincts. I act on my instincts and notice the signs and symbols in my life. We'll talk more about these. Let's just get them all out first. Okay. Motivation. I am motivated, and motivated people help me to improve my finances. Universe. The universe will show me the right path to take to reach my goal. And we have good fortune, which they're telling me to pull. The universe provides me and my family with prospects for good fortune. So interestingly enough, I am seeing the unfolding here. So, okay, flexibility. Obviously, we've already talked about being flexible and adaptable to change while you pursue your ambitions. Well, that makes sense, right? I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to create change if we're going to be really rigid. If we're not going to allow ourselves to bend and flow with the changes that we are creating, then how are we going to be open to bringing those changes in? And that brings us to the non-attachment. Because we can, okay, I am certain that I will reach my goal while letting go of how it will happen. And these two, being flexible and adaptable to change while I pursue my ambitions, these two are really important because it's going to be hard to be flexible if we're very attached to an outcome. Meaning it has to look like this at this time and show up in this way and through this avenue, and I'm going to feel this, and you know what I'm saying? We can put a lot of restrictions on ourselves if we don't allow ourselves to be flexible. I would also say that if we're practicing rigidity and attachment, then how are we going to be in tune with our instincts? Because we're so attached to this control, there's no room for being in touch with our instincts. And again, we're being, I act on my instincts and notice the signs and symbols in my life. Now, I used to get really frustrated when I would hear something like this because it was like, but I don't notice anything. But again, it was because I didn't even realize it at that time. Again, I was so attached to how something had to look and how it had to come about and, all these other expectations and things I had piled onto something that I was wanting to create. I left no room to notice anything. I left no room to check in with my instincts and just go, okay, yeah, I'm going to move on my gut instinct. I would also say I had to do a lot of work to heal my relationship between myself and my instincts, right? It's almost like they were two separate selves that just didn't work together. And I had to do a lot of work to be able to be cohesive. And I still have to check in with myself sometimes. And I still have to go, all right, it's time to course correct here because I'm just not in tune here with myself. So, it's a process, and, there's some that it may seem like we're repeating the same thing, but in reality, we're usually not because, like you can, okay, let's say you had to work on your instincts. Okay, you've made it, right? You've gone from here where you began, and now you've worked on a lot of stuff, and you're being in tune with your instincts has been one of them, right? And you've worked with your instincts, you're working with them, you're in the flow, and then let's say, oh man, now I feel stuck again. But now it's not that you're back here again, it's that you're at this, you've upped your game, and so now you've reached this, now you're being asked to be stretched even further in your instincts, in your intuition. and then you work on it, and now you're up here, and then you hit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not a vicious cycle. It's not that you have not made progress. You have. It's just that when you reach these different levels and stuff, right, then then it's time to open these things up again. I never remember where I get these things from when I move them around. But yeah, so anyway, I hope that helps. Okay, then we have motivation. I am motivated, and motivated people help me to improve my finances. So I feel like that this, look at the Irish, St. Patrick's Day, maybe there's something great that could be coming forward, utilizing the good vibrations and the energies of good luck. Call in those vibrations of good luck. And I see that, again, even where they're saying, and motivated people help me to improve. And I'll show you in just a second. She's blowing this horn, and there's all these ships coming around her in very, some are closer than others. And we have a cat. So monkey, birds, butterflies, and cat energies, those may be ones that you want to look up and see what resonates with you. If anything, again, always only take what resonates, leave the rest. She's blowing the horn. She's calling in help. She is calling in help. And the cat is here at her feet. So again, I would look up cat energy and see how does that help and support you in this. And there's people coming in with responses. There's one right here. There's one here. There's one here. And they're responding to the call. So whatever that looks like for you, whether that's people or a spirit team or angels or God's source, spirit, universe, utmost high, whatever that is for you, whether it's the best friend or you seek out a new coach or you go see a professional, whatever that team is that you're putting together for yourself to achieve whatever goal or goals that you are looking to achieve, right? Whatever your ambitions are. And maybe you don't even know what those are. Maybe you just know you want change, but you don't even know what change you want. You can either do it on your own again, or you can go find a professional or somebody to bounce ideas off of and work through it and come up with these answers for yourself. But sometimes it takes a team to help us to discover ourselves. And that team changes. As we change, our team changes. And I think that's a very normal part of the process. I think that is encouraging because it shows how we are shifting and changing. The universe, and again, do you see the size of this team? Look at the size of this team. We even have the moon energy here. We have stars, planets, all things Hadar. Look at the dual lights there. And again, we have the universe will show me the right path to take to reach my goal, and motivated people will help. So, and whether that's people or beings or whatever, but it is a team. Oh, sorry. But it is a team that we put together. We choose our team. And I would say, again, with sometimes our instincts can, how do I say that? Sometimes we've been operating under illusions. So when we try tapping into our instincts, we can mistake something that our instincts are actually guiding us in this direction, but on an unconscious level, we can be like, wait a minute. Again, there's that amygdala, right? That ego that says, wait a minute. You're going to want to be bringing in change. No, we don't do change, because when we try to change, and then there's this whole story or stories, and so then we pull back and we're like, ooh, wait, no, never mind, I don't want to work with you, or never mind, I don't want to talk to you about this, or never mind, I don't want to go down that path, never mind, I'm not going to pursue this because it's not for me. Okay, that could be true. And then on the other hand, that could be that it's just because there's been a disconnect between the self and the self, if that makes sense. At the same time, it is important to listen to yourself. If something feels off, then don't do it. And that's not a judgment towards yourself or anyone else or anything else. It's just, you know what? It's just not aligned. And that's okay. Move on. Because you're the one who puts your team together. You know what I'm saying? You're the one who puts your team together. And if that makes, there's something that makes you uncomfortable in that, there's a difference between something that challenges you to stretch yourself farther and to move yourself along in your ascension and in your journey. There's that kind of a challenge. And then this makes me uncomfortable because this is not aligned for me. And I have to be honest here, there have been times where I have mistaken it one way or the other and then found out differently later. So, it's okay. It's okay. That happens. It's okay. Let it go. But the point is putting together your team, putting out those calls and doing what you need to do and setting your goals and then moving forward with your team, allowing yourself that flexibility and allowing your team to fluctuate with where you're at in your journey. And this is going to bring about this good fortune for you. All right. I find it interesting sometimes because I listen to whatever decks I'm guided to pull, right? And we may or may not use them at all. We may use all of them. We may use one. It's just interesting to me how it unfolds. And I guess because of the flexibility and my team. And I just like I like being open to that. I am going to say this too. I just noticed this. We have sun and moon. We have sun and moon. And I feel like this could be mistaken for the moon because of the coloring of the sky, but I do feel like I'm getting sun and moon versus moon and moon. So that to me is talking about balance. And I also, again, this team here with so many people, I feel like, again, it's, we have those that are here, earthy, that are helping us here, but we also have our spirit team. Passion. I passionately accept and love myself. I would also say that this is about finding your passion. What it is that ignites you. What lights you up. What makes your soul sing. What is it that brings you joy? What is it that brings you happiness? And if you don't know what that is, that's maybe what you're wanting to pursue, what you're wanting to learn, what you're wanting to find out about yourself. We have adventure. Wonderful new experiences fill my life. I mean, I do feel like this is a beautiful journey that is getting ready to unfold for you if you so choose to allow that to happen. Abundance. All my needs are met above and beyond my greatest expectations. And here's what I want to say about expectations. Because I used to have people tell me, well, you need to not have any expectations. You just need to be neutral and have no expectations. And I disagree with that. This is my opinion. If it's not for you, it's not for you. That's totally okay. Okay. If it is for those of you who maybe this message is for, great. But I used to have people tell me, well, you need to not have expectations. You just need to not have expectations. And I used to sit and think, I really disagree with that, because expectations are what motivate us. Expectations and dreams, I guess, is it. They motivate us. They help us put together what it is we're wanting out of life. I feel like it's just when expectations get out of balance. Expectations, I think, help us figure out what it is we do want. They help us to figure out what we want to pursue. And I think they also help us in learning to understand boundaries and what's acceptable for us on an individual level and what is not. And then there's when they get out of board and they create the rigidness and the inflexibility and disconnect and all that other kind of stuff. Just my opinion. And I don't know who that was for, but that was for somebody. Okay. What else are we doing here? What else are we going to be pulling? You're showing me those, but you're showing me. All right. Thank you. Okay, what else do you want to bring forward? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, that went all the way to the floor. All right, hold on a minute. I'm going to have to take this off so that I can reach. Okay. Okay, so okay, so this is the first one that came out. We got extremities. And again, I feel like, I think that fits just with what I was just saying. There are those extremes. There are those extremes. We can go too far in one way or the other. And then they create, you know, this things getting out of hand. And then next we have spying. I feel like the spying, this isn't talking to me, and how I'm reading this, and this is striking me. I feel like it's saying, it's almost like somebody's on the outside looking in, not in a creepy spying way, but more of in a, one, feeling like they're on the outside, two, feeling disconnected, three, there's this feeling of, well, this person's life, if you look in at this person's life, I mean, look through the window, they got just this, that, and the other, and whatever. And then there's like this, I'm literally getting like this feeling of jealousy towards what you're viewing of somebody else's life, or of something that you're wanting and you feel like, well, everybody else has it but me. And if that is you, you know, if that speaks to you, again, don't judge yourself. Don't blame others. Don't blame yourself. It's awareness. Becoming consciously aware of stuff is what allows us that opportunity then to course correct, right? Because what works for them may not work for you. And, you know, we can think we know this, that, and the other about somebody else and be completely off base. I feel like, too, it's about just saying, again, there's that message of, you know, it's not about looking at everyone else. It's about looking within, looking at the self. All right, what else do we have, please? Because I feel like, there's all of this wonderfulness right here for you. It doesn't matter what's going on in someone else's life. And you know, I mean, How many times have we heard about somebody who's like, they saw somebody else had this, and so they went all out to go get that because they thought, well, that's got to be better. I mean, look at it. It's so amazing and blah, blah, blah. And they're so blah, blah, blah. And then they get there and they get it. And it's like, yeah, I found out this isn't what I wanted. It's not even for me. So, feather, abundance, easy money, divine intervention. As far as career, we got light work, air related, undecided, and travel. So feathers can be a symbol and are frequently associated with our spirit team communicating and talking with us, which is funny because I just had, let me see, I'll show it to you. Okay. I just had this feather this morning. This is just a few that I've just found recently. I have a huge collection of feathers. But this one just kept wanting to fall off the shelf today. And I was like, okay, so I hear you, I get it. You know, there's a message in this for me. And so, and because this came up again, it's like, okay, so then maybe I need to leave this laying out here today so that I remember to look up that particular feather from that particular bird and, you know, see what the message is. What is that energies of that particular bird, and see what that message is for me for today, because it kept wanting to come out. And then I would also say, you know, I walk a lot to go to the gym. I walk a lot, period. I love walking. It clears me. It's my meditation. It's my joy. It's my happiness. I listen to music, or sometimes I go in silence, and I love it. I love it. It's always an adventure. There are things that I find on my walks, like this little seal. I saw it numerous times, and it looked like it had been out in someone's garbage, and then it just got, you know, left behind by the garbage people or whatever. And every time it would like stand out to me, and I was like, you know, don't be ridiculous. Signs. And so finally one day it was like it got rolled under my shoe like several, and I was like, oh my gosh, stop. And I was like, oh, well, duh. It's because this has a message for me. So I brought it home and I cleaned it up and cleansed it, energetically speaking, as well as, you know, physically cleaning it. I looked up the messages for seal energy, and it really spoke to me, and it really fit for me at that time of my life. And now it sits here. I have 2 amethyst hearts, which I don't think you can see, and I don't want to move the camera because I'll mess it up. But I'll do it this way. I have these 2 amethyst hearts that sit side by side. And I have a seashell under this one because it's got a divot in it, but to keep it straight. And they sit side by side, and he sits on those, and he faces me. And it's just a reminder for me. I found this ball on my walk, and I got it home, and I got the message, you need to put a happy face on it and keep it here with you, because this is going to bring you joy and happiness. And again, I have an amethyst face mask that is sitting here that I have other crystals sitting on. And it just sits there, and she smiles at me. And I had just put the eyes in the mouth, and I got, no, give her eyelashes. It's a girl. Okay. You know, I mean, it may sound silly, but it can be quite magical to go and allow yourself to have these adventures and be open to, you know, messages and things coming through in unconventional ways. I guess is really the whole thing. And the feathers, I feel like, again, it's abundance, easy money, divine intervention. I think it's pointing back here to your team. Having your team in place, you know, and allowing yourself that flexibility. I mean, think about feathers. Feathers have to be very firm and strong and yet very, very flexible at the same time to be able to ride the air currents that are way up there and the turbulence and diving in and out of traffic without getting, you know, run over and hit. So anyways, I hope that speaks to you guys. I hope that makes sense. Thank you. Thank you. I just messed that all up, didn't I? All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we have the skull, rough patch, borrowing money, low on cash. And for career, we have hospice, healer, no work, reinvention. So again, some of you may be on a journey. Some of you may be deciding, I'm not happy with the work I'm doing now. I want something different. I want something like blah, blah, blah. And others of you, you know, again, this could have to do with your finances. And I will say again, you know, love and money hold very, very similar vibrations. And it is not uncommon that if we have challenges in one, we will have challenges in the other. And by doing work in one, we actually shift the energies of the other as well. So to me, that's good news. All right. So, and it says a rough patch. So again, it's not saying you have flexibility. You can move forward, call in that help and that support, right? And then, didn't I say this reading was being done? It's pre-recorded, of course, but its release is for, you know, St. Patrick's Day of 2023. Again, these are timeless. Whenever you find it is good for you, but check it out. The 4-leaf clover. I love that. A lucky break, a gamble, good fortune, taking a chance, right? So chance. Career, we have finance, outdoors, risky business, and surprises. And I feel like it's saying, again, good fortune and the clover. So you have both of these. And I mean, and again, look at this. The feather is coated in gold. So again, this is temporary. You have this stuff coming for you. And I do feel that, again, you're being invited to put together your team, whatever that looks like for you, to shift things, to change things for yourself, to bring in your abundance, to enjoy the adventures in life of something as simple as just going for a walk and letting things unfold and being open and flexible. All right. Anyways, I hope that these were helpful for you guys and that you enjoyed the message. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, the notification bell. And of course, share if you feel there's anyone that could benefit from the messages in this reading. All of these do help me. They do help the channel. They also help us to help each other, help our community and beyond. All right. Until next time, guys, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'll see you soon.